Hello, everyone. Welcome to my page. So, today I want to talk about the Idaho student murders. I know that everyone is familiar with this case because it's very heartbreaking and there are tons of moving parts. Um, I want to go back to November 13th when these murders occurred. And here to the left, we have pictured the students. This is Dylan. She is a survivor. This is Madison. She is a victim. Rest in peace. This is her best friend Kaylee, who's also a victim. Rest in peace to Kaylee. My condolences to the families of everyone involved in this case. Okay. This is Ethan. He's also a victim, and his girlfriend Xana. She's a victim, and this is Bethany. She's a survivor. Off to the right, we have the demon filled, demonic possessed psychopath, Brian Koberger. Okay. We already know that he was arrested right before the new year and extradited from Pennsylvania back to Idaho. Now, this person is very sadistic. They studied criminology over at the University of Washington and actually thought they were going to get away with this crime. And I want to also commend the Idaho Police Department for working this case, getting all their facts together, and really utilizing all of their resources to bring this psycho to justice, okay? Let's just call it what it is. It's giving psychopath. It's giving serial killer. It's giving I thought I was going to get away with it. It's giving yeah, I came from a perfect home, but I'm still a sadistic bastard. So yeah, it's giving all of these things. And again, like I said before, I just want to say rest in peace to everybody. So last week, he had his first court appearance in which the affidavit was unsealed, and we got a glimpse into how authorities really um, found out who the killer was. Because remember, he was masked, he was dressed in all black, and really there was no surveillance of him going in and out of this home and committing these murders. So we're going to say allegedly, but we know for a fact that he is the person. So, just based on the affidavit, police tracked him using, of course, cell phone towers, and his movements were just really, really sketchy. Somewhere in December, I believe it was on the 7th, police became aware of a white Honda Elantra on the scene. And that's because his behind was circling this block with his car. I mean, and he was caught on several surveillance cameras circling the block. And so, once police honed in on this piece of evidence, they just stuck with it. And, you know, using forensics, of course, they were able to basically track him down in this car, find out who he was, obtain a copy of his driver's license and registration and everything like that. And they knew who he was, but there were several different steps they went through to be sure and identify who he was. Um, Once they got a picture of his license and they knew who he was, they contacted the college to verify, did he in fact drive a white Hyundai Elantra, which it was verified, but at the time the car was not towed or apprehended. Now, 5 days after the murders, Brian decides, being a dummy. He is such a dummy. He's so stupid. But, you know, dumb criminals do dumb things. So he decided that he was going to change his registration on that same white Honda Elantra from Washington back to Pennsylvania. And this is where the case started to unravel. Police didn't track down that his parents did, in fact, live in Pennsylvania, and they somehow got into the father's trash can, got a piece of evidence, was able to collect DNA off the evidence. Mind you, they already had Brian's DNA from the scene of the crime because the knife he used, he dropped the actual knife sheath. He left that on the scene. While, you know, investigating the scene, forensics did collect 113 pieces of evidence, sent it off to the crime lab to get DNA. So they were able to extract DNA off the sheath of the knife that he used to collect, to commit these brutal murders. So they already had a DNA profile. They just didn't know who he was. So, fast forward to when they went to the father's trash and was able to collect DNA from the trash. They took Brian's DNA, they took the dad's DNA and went to a genealogy firm and was able to compare the two and say it's 99.99% without a doubt these two are related. Okay. So they knew for a fact they had the right person. And, that's how they were able to kind of like work with different agencies, pinpoint who he was, and started the basically the operation to apprehend him. And, you know, there there's a gag order. So there's not much that the police can release to the media. So based off the affidavit, um, we can determine a lot of things. So right now, Court TV did a little segment, and I want to kind of play that segment of how police went ahead and, pinpoint who, you know, Brian was and how they actually um, tracked him using cell phones. So I'm going to play this right now and, share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think because, again, just when you think that you're committing the most perfect crime, you're not. You're leaving tons and tons of evidence behind. And especially with cell phones and cell phone towers, it's very easy to track someone. Also, everyone has surveillance at their home. Everyone has a Ring camera. I know I do. And so if I do, I'm going to say about 90% of the population probably has Ring cameras on their door and they're able to, record your actions even if someone's not physically looking at you, okay? So right now, let me play this segment from Court TV, guys, and listen up and pay attention to how police actually was able to track Brian's movement.
A.m. and staying for about 10 minutes. But that isn't the only location police placed Kohberger that day in the hours after the murders. According to the probable cause affidavit, Brian Kohberger's cell phone records show him moving south from Pullman, Washington, where he lived in an on-campus apartment at Washington State University, towards Lewiston, Idaho, about a 50-minute drive. The town of Lewiston is located on the border of Washington State, where just across the Snake River is the bordering town of Clarkston, Washington. It was here at approximately 12:36 p.m. November 13th, 2022, when cell phone records placed Kohberger's vehicle here on Port Drive next to Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand. The surveillance videos here at the U.S. Chef store show his white Hyundai Elantra drive past. Then, just 10 minutes later, at 12:46 p.m., Kohberger's cell phone records place him at the nearby Albertsons grocery store. Surveillance video at 12:49 p.m. shows Kohberger walking through the store and purchasing unknown items at the checkout. He leaves at approximately 1:04 p.m. The probable cause affidavit does not indicate location data for the next few hours of the day. It isn't until around 5:30 p.m. that the affidavit indicates Kohberger's cell phone located in Johnson, Idaho. But there is no Johnson, Idaho. The affidavit may have meant this community of Johnson, Washington, right on the border of Idaho State. It's a location consistent with the affidavit's route, and it's surrounded by cell phone towers. For 3 minutes from 5:32 to 5:36 p.m. November 13, 2022, Koberger's cell phone pings here near the community of Johnson, but then his cell phone goes dark for 3 hours. The affidavit notes that this location in Johnson is consistent with the phone being in the same area that it traveled in the hours immediately following the murders. And according to the affidavit, from 5:36 p.m. when it was in Johnson until 8:30 p.m. November 13, Koberger's phone stopped reporting to the network, meaning he turned it off, put it in airplane mode, or the phone was in an area without cell coverage. While the probable cause affidavit does provide new revelations into the movements of the alleged killer in the hours after the murders, there are still many questions that remain. Why did he drive so far to the grocery store? What did he buy there? Did he get rid of that murder weapon and other incriminating evidence along the way, or during that 3-hour period his phone went dark? For now, we wait, and answers may only come during his trial. Reporting in Moscow, Idaho.
So yeah, so Brian was doing dumb shit, you know. He was just riding around all willy-nilly with his cell phone turned on, just dropping location after location. And, while he thought he was so smart, you would think that this person that's getting a PhD in criminology would be just a tad bit smarter. But he was dumb as shit. He was dumber than a box of rocks, guys. Like, he deserves to be caught. He deserves to be thrown under the jail. And also, the affidavit has like some shocking details. Like, this, this piece of shit had been like stalking this residence or these people because we don't know. Kaylee did say that she felt like there was a stalker, and sometimes our instincts is right. We can feel like, okay, maybe someone's watching us, someone's tailing us, but you know, she probably could not pinpoint it. But he had been stalking this residence since June 23rd, 2022, which is actually very, very scary. I can't imagine someone watching me, watching my home for months, okay? Coming back in the morning, coming back in the evenings, circling the neighborhood. Like, what is the real motive? I mean, a lot of answers may not come until his court date, and we may have to wait until then since the judge placed the gag order and the police are limited on what they can tell the press. But this is really some sick, sick, demented, demonic stuff because why? Just why? Okay? Why did he kill them? What was the reason? Was it just to fulfill some sadistic urge to kill? Um, it's also being alleged that he was studying serial killers. One, um, one serial killer, you know, to be mentioned is the Golden State serial killer. Like, he was obsessed. And now since he's been caught, all kinds of people are coming out about him, about how weird he was. I think one girl went on a Tinder date with him, and she was just detailing how eerie and how just like weird he was. And if you look at him, if you look at his appearance, you can tell like something is literally off with this fool. I mean, to me, he looks very demented. He has no remorse in his face. His face is actually expressionless. I mean, this case for prosecutors is going to be like an open and shut. I am predicting, and I'm saying it right now. It is the 11th of January. I'm predicting that when the jury gets this trial, they're going to come back in less than an hour with the verdict, okay? I mean, this case, it's going to be open and shut. He deserves every single thing that is coming to him. Guys, I know this is very like heartbreaking for people to listen to. I don't want to inflict any more pain regarding this case. Again, there are tons of families involved, friends and loved ones, and I just want to say my condolences to everyone involved. Rest in peace to all of the victims. May they finally be able to rest in peace. Um, yeah, my condolences to everyone. And thank you for tuning in. I didn't want to make this video extremely long, but I just did want to put some facts out there regarding um, the Idaho student murders and this fool, Brian Kohlberger, who just thought he was smarter than the average bear. And he has to understand that in a day and age of surveillance, forensics, genealogy, and every other secret resource that the authorities are using that we don't know about, it's very hard to get away with murder nowadays. You will be caught. And I hope this serves as a lesson to other people that are like thinking they're going to commit some, crime against some innocent students or anyone in general. You're going to get caught. You're going to get caught. So please, please, please reconsider before you do any crimes, okay? Also, I want to put out there, please be aware of your surroundings, okay? We have no idea who's watching us, who's keeping tabs on us, who wants to do us harm. So, with all of that being said, please stay dangerous. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all cost. Okay? I wish everyone has a blessed day and thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share and leave me a comment. Okay? Bye.